I know 10 days away from a game. Is there, you feel players getting antsy? Do you feel yourself getting antsy kind of for that first match of the season?
Antsy, no. We're excited.
Yeah.
You know, we want to get the season kicked off. We love training, but there's nothing better than the game. So the feeling around here is just excitement. There's so much energy flying around the building within training. We've had preseason matches, a little scrimmage the other day in our building, which helps build excitement. So more so excitement.
I think one thing, I was talking with Lo a couple of days ago at Media Day, and she mentioned something about your coaching style and how you kind of see yourself as a player and her. I don't know if you kind of looked at that a little bit, but just like how do you see Lo as a leader, kind of spiritually with the team, but also on the field and her role in this team?
Yeah. If we played against each other, I don't know who's going down first, me or her, but she probably wins. She's tough. She's smart. She's feisty, energetic, plays with intensity. She's intelligent with the ball, tactically connected. So yeah, listen, I see a lot of the, we played the same position, and there's a lot of similarities with the intensity that she plays with. So I can see how she's operating out there, and I am able to see myself in her game. So yeah, she's tremendous. Honestly, she's been out a little bit the last days. We'll get her back hopefully soon, but she's a fun player to coach, and thrilled that she's part of this team.
And just maybe on a personal coaching philosophy, a bigger picture here. I mean, how much do you use your experience as a player to kind of relate to players, and do you feel like that works? Do you feel like have you had to learn over the years when to and when not to?
I've learned a lot over the years as a coach, but if I think back to the essence of my coaching philosophy and soccer philosophy, so much of it stems to when I was a player. So part of the coaching philosophy that I have as a coach, I have to think back when I was a player, how did I want to be coached? How did I learn? I loved the coaches that were demanding and had standards, but that also had patience and could connect with me. But I've learned over the years now a playing style and how to coach a methodology. When I was a player, I was a feisty number 6, a ball-winning 6 that also valued the ball. So when I'm a coach now, so much of the way I want my team to play is about taking time and space away from opposition, much like when I was a player. And when I have the ball to play forward and to play attacking soccer. I experienced that as a player, so that has trickled into my coaching philosophy and style.
I have to ask my World Cup question. So with the World Cup coming to town, Netherlands here, and all these other World Cup activities going on around the Metro, how does that affect what you do with your club, with your team? Does it affect your approach at all?
No. I know it's going to have a positive effect in terms of the excitement, and now what that does in our community, what it does in our country, the energy flying around the game. Every time you're in front of a television, now you're watching football all day long. That for our team and for a coach, that's great. Watch different styles of play, different coaches, different some of the best or the best in the world that are doing their stuff. So for my team to get to see that is awesome. To see it in their backyard, even better. So with Holland being here and national teams fighting over our facility, pretty cool. But if we can get a little glimpse of what's going on, it'd be great. But no, it's just going to add to the excitement. Sure.
With your experience with coaching young players and bringing them along, especially in the teenage years, just I mean, the team has talked about how much these young players are already getting into the fray and getting the bite on them. But how are you just approaching them and bringing them along?
Yeah, it's a good question, and here's what I would tell you. When you work with young players, I think there's a lot of teams and ownership groups and sporting directors and coaches that say, yeah, we want to work with the young players because they're energetic, they're open and hungry, they can run and repeat. I also believe that, but to my core, I actually put that into practice. And our club, from the ownership to Vlatko to myself, like we're going to bring young players along, which means you have to play them, and you have to have patience. Yeah, like you have to have patience, and which means at times it doesn't come right away. But there's lots of video and post-training work and individual work, put that on repeat. And then young players, the long NWSL seasons, you got to bring them along at the right pace physically. But the most important thing is the emotional piece with young players, that they have to understand where they're at. They're going to make mistakes. And honestly, I think a coaching philosophy to coach and teach, along with patience, is the way to go. And I've experienced that, and I'm excited with this young group to continue that.
What are you looking forward to seeing some of them do just in these first few games once they get some experience under their belt?
Yeah, as you know, we've had some of our players out with different injuries, and on one way, yeah, we want to get them back. However, this does open the door. So for the minutes for the younger players, what I want to see most of all is fearlessness. Step on the pitch, show who you are, personality, commit to what we're doing, and play with energy and the intensity that we demand / they have. They're here because of that, and they all have something special. So as the head coach, I'm fuel on that fire. What I want them to do is be themselves and just attack, go after it.
Are you seeing just, is there any effect to, because in MLS they have the draft, but obviously here they don't, but are you seeing any effect or differences in that kind of aspect of how they got to the league?
Yeah, the mechanism of how you get the college players and the younger players, yeah, it's a little bit different. Because in MLS, yeah, there's a draft. You got to sometimes make trades to move up the draft if you want to get certain players. Your scouting network is very similar in terms of identification, but now you know the good college players here. You can go after them right away and maybe convince them this is a good landing spot. So it is different. It's interesting. I actually like it here better because you can, if you're aggressive and you believe in going after the young talent that's in the country or even some international players, yeah, you can attack. And we this club, we're aggressive and we try to get what we want, you know. So I like that. If you want something in the football pitch and in life, to go after it, and it sets up for us to do that.
We've got time for one more. How's Croy fitting in? I know she's the last one to arrive, but she's got some sessions under her belt now. What are you seeing from her?
Croy's been excellent. She's really fitting in with the group in all ways, off the pitch, on the pitch. The other day we had a scrimmage against Kansas. You know, she showed who she was on that pitch. You know, she played with personality and quality. Like we expected and know, she made players around her better. But she's really fitting in and getting up to speed quickly and physically really getting herself going. So it's been a great addition, and she's really, she fits in tremendously well with the team on and off the pitch.